Aloha everyone, this is Dr. BethAnne. I am an author, an intuitive psychologist, and an empath, and this is September's edition of Your Heart Magic, my monthly soul care guide. This month we're going to be talking about radical appreciation, and I'm going to share why I chose this particular topic, and then 3 ways that we can develop more of the energy of appreciation in our lives and why I think that's important, because it's really, really important. And let me just tie that in with why I chose it. I realized recently that I had fallen back into some old patterns of not being grateful. I was feeling really frustrated with my life and frustrated with my my soul path and soul calling, and like it wasn't unfolding as fast as I thought it should, and it wasn't looking the way that I thought it would. And I moved to the island of Kauai over 2 years ago to follow my spiritual calling. I closed down my life in Anchorage, Alaska, and I came over here with the expectation that once I got here, I'd kind of be given the blueprint of what came next. You know, I thought maybe that I would channel it in, or just have that sudden epiphany where you wake up in the middle of the night and you're like, aha, this is it. You know, this is what I'm being called to do and called to step into. And a lot of rebuilding myself and rebuilding the direction I'm moving in the last couple of years has been a struggle. And it's difficult to admit that. I want to sit here and say there's been like all this grace and ease to it, but there's actually been quite a bit of challenges and struggles. And a lot of times it's felt like boot camp. And what I can tell you from my spiritual perspective is I think all of that was like spiritual lessons, like being in school and learning more about how the universe works and how spirit truly does support us, as opposed to how we think it works and how we think it should support us. And I was shooting on the universe. I was in this space of feeling like, wait a second, I did the big scary thing. I took this massive leap of faith. Now you should do your part and tell me what's next. And that wasn't coming in as fast as I thought it would be. And it was putting me in a space of a lot of resistance and frustration, right? Because that's what happens when we start to get angry at life and into a fighting match with spirit. We're not being accepting. It puts us in a space of resistance. It constricts our energy, and we end up really churning up a lot of dirt. And if you're in that stage, it's totally cool. We all go through it. There's a lot that you can learn from that. But the goal is hopefully we start to come out the other side. And as I started to relax and really find a higher perspective and get grounded and think about what can I take from all of this, I realized that I had let some really old habits of gratitude that I developed years ago fall by the wayside. When I first went through my spiritual awakening, I made it a point to find the joy in the day-to-day. I made it a point, no matter what happened in the day, if it was even a bad day, to say, but you know what, I had a really great sandwich, and my dog loves me, and there's a full moon tonight, and it's really beautiful. And I will actually see this reflected when I go through like old social media stuff on this day, where I was just kind of shared my gratitude list. That was my thing at the end of the day. And I thought, wow, where did that girl go? Where did that part of you go that was really cultivating an eye of appreciation for the little things and bringing that into your life on a day-to-day basis? So I was really challenged to take a lesson from my 2012 self, my 2013-year-old self, and bring it up to my 2019 self and say, you need to start bringing a lot more appreciation back into your life. Because the fact of the matter is that all these big ideas that you have about who you want to be and where you want to go are going to feel so unsatisfying, and they're going to mean so very little if you're not able to appreciate and be in the moment of each day. That's what living mindfully and soulfully is really about. And I realized I wasn't listening to the things that I'm always imparting others to do. And that's why I wanted to be honest and share that with you. It's not about being perfect, it's about being honest with ourselves and then course correcting on the journey as we realize we need to course correct. So now I'm going to talk about 3 ways that we can better appreciate, because these are 3 things I'm working on and I hope they help you like they're helping me. Number 1 is I think we have to be really intentional about appreciating. It is a muscle. Developing gratitude, developing appreciation, developing an eye for the good. That's a muscle. It's an emotional muscle that we have to exercise, and it's really easy for that to get lazy if we're not investing in it. It's easy to be grateful when things are going well, but it's just human nature to always want to know what's next, to always want a little bit more, to always feel a little bit restless. That's the part of ourselves that is seeking growth. And part of being mindful is being able to bring ourselves back to the present moment and say, I'm grateful for this right now. I feel the good of this right now. So I think we have to be really intentional about it. And whether that's making a gratitude list, whether that is at the end of the day thinking, what's one thing I really appreciated about today? And then taking time to notice where you feel that in your body. What does appreciation feel like? Maybe it is going through the day and designating an appreciation day where all you do is say thank you to the universe, thank you to higher power, thank you to spirit, to Mother Nature, thank you to yourself, thank you to those you love for all the things that are good and all the things that are going well right now. So that's number 1. Number 2 is find a higher perspective for your day. And if my 13-year-old self schooled me on that gratitude muscle and rebuilding it, then my 16-year-old self really served me up with finding a higher perspective. If you don't know my personal journey, I lost my brother Brent in the year of 2016. It was a very difficult journey for me, and I really fought to come back through that into a place of appreciation and a place of finding joy in life. I really learned how to work those muscles again at that time. And part of what really helped me with that is realizing that when you've lost somebody and they no longer have the gift of experiencing life on this side of the veil. Now they're in the spirit world and they've got a whole new realm of experiences to go about seeing. But here, in earth plane, as I call it, the gift is being human. The gift is being frustrated with a spiritual journey. It's a gift to have a bad day and get to exercise your gratitude muscle. It's a gift to be mindful. It's a gift to learn how to drop out of the mind and into the heart. All of those things are gifts if we learn to cultivate an eye of appreciation. And I learned that really powerfully back in 2016. I really realized that Brent no longer had these small gifts of being human, of being better. Him and I didn't get another chance to be anything more or anything less than who we were as the Kapansky siblings during our time. And I realized time is a gift. Having more time to evolve, to work through the relationship, to grow up together, that was a gift. And in this strange way, it made me more grateful for even the difficult things, because I just started to see that all of life is sacred, all of life is a ceremony, all of life is a gift, including the hard stuff. So for me right now, higher perspective looks like, and this is my self-talk, it looks like me saying, I am so grateful that I am struggling to figure out my spiritual path. I am so grateful that I have this privilege and this chance to be in Kauai and to have the space to get to work this out and to be frustrated and to realize that I've slidden back and to get to course correct and to learn from all of that and to grow and experience and be messy and beautiful and human. That's a gift. So we need to find a perspective that transcends the day and transcends the moment and kind of looks at it from above so that we become bigger than what we're not appreciating. We become bigger than the day. And the last thing that I wanted to share were these words: when I appreciate, I create flow. Earlier I said that the more I was angry and the more I was not accepting of what was happening, the more resistance I had inside of me. And if you think about being upset and you think about like how you feel in your chest and how you feel in your body, then you become really aware that when we're upset, when we're resisting something, when we don't want it to happen, we feel really contracted, we feel really tightened up. And so our energy is more constricted. When we can relax our heart, when we can relax our mind, when we can relax our solar plexus and our body, we open up and energy flows through more efficiently. And that's how it works in the universe. That's how it works with energy in general. Anywhere where things are really resistant, the energy is going to be more constricted, and usually it just makes it harder on us. The more we can open up, the more flow can actually come through. So appreciation it's like doing a downward dog in yoga, right? That is a stretch that immediately opens you up, and it feels so good when you do it, and you wonder, why didn't I do this sooner? This feels really good on my body. I think gratitude and appreciation is the downward dog of emotional muscles. It opens us up. It immediately creates more flow. It creates more space for life to work through us, and for things to more quickly find momentum and to feel easier and to feel less stuck. So if you can appreciate things in a way that's super positive, that's awesome. But even if it's a bad day and you just say, I appreciate the fact that I was really learning about being a human being today, if you can like put a flip on it, even that will open you up, and it will open up the energy for flow. So I try and keep these videos around 11 minutes. I'm right at 11, and I'm going to end with that. And wish everybody a beautiful September. If you want the full soul care guide, go to my website and you can sign up for Your Heart Magic, and you'll also get some exercises you can do, and a channeled message and a blog post and that kind of stuff. And I will see everybody back here next month for October's edition of Your Heart Magic. Be well and be loved. Aloha.